And now I'm adding a marker. Hello, podcast. It's me, On Wings of Wind, with my buddy Shinra.
That's me.
It is. It's true.
Like peak dive meta.
And today we are talking
Indie games.
indie games. And also casually shiny hunting for a shiny Ponyta in the background. So if you see Pokemon in the background, don't be alarmed.
Or do be alarmed. You know, I'm not going to tell you to live your life.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
So,
Huh?
This is so bad.
just don't sue.
Yeah, don't sue me for the Pokemans. But, there's no music. I'm not breaking any copyright laws, technically. So, we're good to go. I took the liberty of writing out a list of all of the indie games I remembered playing this year.
Oh, wow. Look at you being prepared.
Well, I figured I'm usually the not prepared one, so we could, trade places.
Good, because I have, like, 2 in my mind.
Okay, perfect. So, one of the indie games this year I played was called Quest for Vidhara.
This game. I
Okay.
have not heard of it.
It is a super hard, super laggy, super difficult platformer that's supposed to be a hard platformer that made me pull all my hair out, and I will never play again. So I don't recommend that to you guys.
Was it a bad game? Was that why it was hard? Or were you just, not good at it?
It was not built well or precise. Like, your character is, 5 pixels away from a saw, but you still get, hit by the saw.
Right.
And then I also don't like super hard platformers, but it's a laggy, unpolished one. So if people want a super hard platformer, I wouldn't recommend that one, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Cool.
Makes sense.
I'll keep going down my list, I guess, since you only have 2.
No, I'm slowly adding more.
Oh, okay.
Not a game that came out this year, but that I did play a lot of this year was Hollow Knight. After hearing so much about it, so many good things about it, I'm like, I'm gonna play Hollow Knight.
Okay, and?
I've always liked those Metroidvanias, and it is so fantastic. That is an amazing game.
Okay. I've heard it's good. I've seen a lot of people streaming it this year. I haven't played it myself, but it's on the list of, if I have time for this game, I would like to play it.
Yep. It definitely, to complete it, demands a certain amount of time and attention out of a person. Because it's a very big world with a lot of puzzles and combat that you have to get good at to be able to effectively move through the world.
Right.
The controls are so tight. It feels great. The sound is on point. The boss fights are super cool, and they put a bunch of free DLC on top of it.
Yeah, I did see that they're putting out a lot of free DLC. That's nice of them.
So Hollow Knight, 10 out of 10. Especially if you like platformers or Metroidvania games.
Wasn't there, in that similar sort of vein, another level grindy platformer that was like a spirit or something like that?
Dead Cells?
No.
Like that.
It was like you're like a little raccoon or something, or a squirrel, and then it's all spiritual and stuff. I saw someone playing it.
Ori in the Blind Forest?
Yes.
I'm actually in the middle of playing through that for the first time. I was doing that earlier today and this week. That is also a very, very fun Metroidvania platformer. And it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played.
Explain Metroidvania platformer for the audience, and definitely not me.
Right. So, back in the wee days of the Nintendo Entertainment Center, there were 2 games called Castlevania and Metroid. Both had a lot of platforming and side-scrolling, shooty, and fighty stuff in it.
Yes.
And as those games progressed, they got kind of expanded on that formula of you're in this one large open world environment, and as you go through it, you collect power-ups that open up more of the world because you're going to get to a blue door, and you can only open a blue door with the blue weapon. So you got to go fight a boss, get the blue weapon, go back to the blue door, open it, and oh look, also you can go to all these other paths now. It's one continuous world that slowly opens up as you collect more weapons and items throughout the game.
I did enjoy a couple of the older Castlevania games that I ended up playing on my like Game Boy Advance or my DS, whatever it was.
Yep.
So yes, that's what that is, stream. I totally knew that, 100%.
Playman Ori is very sad. It is one of the saddest games.
Oh, well now I don't want to play it.
If you cried at the beginning of Up, get ready.
See, I did, but I didn't, because I was like, oh, it's like Disney Pixar, what a traditional love story, someone's gonna die. But I also bawled my eyes out at the end of The Walking Dead Season 1, so, the Telltale game, so I'm prone to tears. Next on my list is a game that did come out this year, and I played this year, is called Green Hell.
I have not heard of that one.
Alright, so Green Hell is a survival game, in a similar vein of where you're put into an environment, you have to gather supplies, build a shelter, keep your character well fed, to survive. The interesting thing is, it's in the middle of the rainforest, and they've added a ton of, like, diseases, or leeches, or abrasions that you can get on your character. It's very realistic for what it is, which I enjoyed that turn of it, because it really sucks because your character's like getting bit by leeches and you're like, oh no, I'm bleeding to death.
Nothing's worse.
No, or food poisoning from eating the wrong kind of mushroom, or going psychotic.
Big facts.
Yes, and additionally the game had it broke out where it's a very intense and specific survival mechanism where you have to have 3 different types of food in you.
Right.
So it's very in-depth and it's fun, and it actually has a story mode, which a lot of those types of games do not. So the story mode right now is about a half hour to 45 minutes, depending on how fast you are at picking up everything. But the rest of the story mode should come out early next year, and I'm very excited for it. It was a very intriguing and grabbing story within that half hour of playing it. And then after that, it kind of drops you into like a free play type of world where you can, you know, try to survive, build a shelter. The last time I played it, there was a broken area that was eventually going to become a water world, so you could run around with flying stingrays and all that good stuff. It was great.
Dream come true.
Yeah, so if you like survival games, I really like the game, and they've just added some updates recently for free, and like I said, the rest of the story will be coming out later next year.
Okay. There's some survival games I like, but like they've always been very hit or miss with me. Like one survival game I very much liked was Banished, which was a game that came out 3 or 4 years ago now. It's basically like a medieval Sim City builder of like you're like a bunch of people who are banished from your town in like the medieval times, and you have to build a whole new town from scratch. While maintaining like the food and the warmth for all your people. And as you build the town, you know, kids are gonna get born, and the kids are gonna eat your food, and the kids, and you're never like I've never asked more for the death of children than when playing that game. I'm just like, yes, Johnny, die, stop eating all my food I need for my lumberjacks, so I can eat to feed the coal miners. So yeah, it's...
No, I get that. Those little mouths are not producing anything, and they're eating all your food. Yeah.
Even though I know they're going to grow into be adults that'll help, but at the time I'm like, nope, you just suck. You just suck. But then there are some games like, I played Don't Starve, which was, for a lot of people, a very great kind of like indie survival game, which just in no way grabbed me. I was bored to tears the entire time playing that game.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of gameplay from Don't Starve, and I can't say that I was ever intrigued enough to pick it up. But
I was initially very interested in it, but then I actually sat down and played it. I'm like, no thanks.
Right. And I mean, like, I got Green Hell from Gaming Nexus. So it wasn't, I don't know if it was something I would have initially picked up on my own, but I'm glad that I did eventually get a key for it, because I do think it might become one of the better survival games of the year as it goes forward. If they continue to improve upon it, that is. If they just let it drop off, then what are we gonna do?
Other indie survival, which one I have not played, but like I'm about to very soon, is Subnautica.
Is what?
Subnautica.
Oh, I am horrified of that game. Because as we've touched on before, I'm horrified of the ocean.
Yeah, I don't usually like being underwater. Like, even playing, like, the water levels in Mario 64 freaked me out a little bit. But it's free right now. It's usually like $25, but it's free on Epic Games. So I was like, I'm gonna pick it up, give it a try. And it's also supposed to be like, it's a survival game, but it has a very clear story of a beginning, middle, and end that you progress through. And it's supposed to be a very rewarding game to play while being beautiful. Because I can, although I'm afraid of being underwater, I can acknowledge the beauty.
Yes, it is a pretty game. I agree with that. But also, I'm horrified of the depths of the ocean and all the monsters that can eat us and will eventually take over the world.
Which I'm sure are down there in Subnautica that it's gonna just
scare
off me.
Because don't you basically just go deeper and deeper? Isn't that the point?
I know eventually you just get to the core of the planet and there are psychic octopuses that murder you.
Oh, terrifying. Okay. Great. Another one that I played this year, I don't know if it came out this year or not. I think it did. It was Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass.
I heard of that one, but I didn't know much of it.
Okay, so it's, it kind of rings to me as like an Undertale game. Like a similar, like, kind of art style, that, like, blocky 90s Pokemon block style type animation.
Right.
The story starts off as cute and gets a little disturbing as you move forward.
Okay.
There is a pulsating mass. It's a little gross.
That's just truth in advertising.
Yes, exactly. And the main character's name is Jimmy, so...
Appropriate.
Right. But if you like those sort of indie Undertale-esque games, it has a good story, and the battle system works more like a Pokemon battle system than an Undertale battle system with the patterns.
Now, I've never played Undertale.
But you've seen a playthrough by now, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well...
I know it's supposed to be one of the best indie games ever. I've never sat down and touched it.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are going to roast you. Sorry.
Yep.
Be prepared. Secondly...
Because I don't like the idea of it. I'm sure I would like it. I've just never gone around to it. There's a lot of great games out there. I can't play all the game.
You can. Just quit your job and don't do anything ever and only play games.
I'm not actually legally allowed to do that.
Unfortunate. Do it.
Worse.
Exactly. But, the battling in, Undertale is kind of a, like, area shoot 'em up rhythm-esque type of game. It's a little hard to describe. But whereas, like I said, Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass is, definitely, like, a Pokemon-esque thing. Also, eventually, as Jimmy, you can start shape-shifting into other things for no reason. I don't know why.
Why be yourself when you can be someone else?
Yes, or a thing, like a flower.
Ooh, flowers. Those are nice.
So there's little top overworld puzzles to, like, solve that way, too. So if you're interested in that type of game, I recommend it. It's on Steam.
I feel like I should play Undertale before I played that. It took me a long time to remember the name of that game.
Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass.
Mass.
Yes. It pulsates. It pulses.
Good.
Yikes. Your turn.
I played Cuphead for the first time this year.
Hey! That was on my list.
that was a very fun game, especially like after all the years we went from first hearing about it to it finally releasing.
Oh my god, yes. I loved Cuphead. The only issue I have with it is that I'm really bad at games. So I couldn't beat it on my own. I had to use Parsec and have a friend remote in so that I could have them mostly beat it for me.
Yep,
There's still 4.
I felt like it's the current premier misery simulator.
But it's so pretty. And the music is so good.
It's a fantastic looking, sounding, playing game, and it's just balls to the walls hard.
It is. Cuphead can be co-op. It's local co-op, Dark Daddy, so if you ran it on Parsec, I could play it with you. Just know that I'm really bad at it, and I won't help you progress.
I'm pretty okay at it. I beat pretty much all of it by myself.
Oh, must be nice.
I had a lot of free time.
I got to the second island and couldn't progress from there.
It's definitely that kind of game that ends you kind of bang your head against the wall until you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You just memorize those patterns.
Uh-huh.
Very, very Dark Souls-esque, which is the favorite way to describe a hard game.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like a cartoony Dark Souls that's a side-scroller.
You dropped your seal.
Dark Daddy, if you want to play Cuphead sometime, I will gladly join you. Again, just know I'm bad.
Oh, Ryan.
You're gonna be carrying.
Yes, you will be carrying me, and I won't be adding much to this relationship.
And don't the fights actually get harder when you have a partner?
They do a little bit. They do get extended, but theoretically, it should be also easier if your partner actually is good.
Right.
The fights can go a little longer, but honestly, they're still about 2-3 minutes, even with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dark Daddy, but what are you good at, Wings? Exactly, I'm good at standing in a field and trying to catch Pokemon.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, 2 hours and 20 minutes later, still no shiny Ponyta. Where are you?
0 Lux.
Another indie game that I played recently, which I believe came out earlier this year, was Pig Eat Ball.
Pig Eat what?
Ball. B-A-L-L.
Pig Eat Ball.
Yes, Pig Eat Ball. So the premise, the synopsis is, what if Pac-Man kept eating all of those little dots and got fatter every time he did, and he also had to solve puzzles based on his mass.
Alright, I'm interested.
Okay, so you are a princess pig in a land of sweets, and there is a competition to win your hand. And you don't want to get married, so you enter yourself to win the competition. So you, as the princess pig, swallow up a bunch of yellow tennis balls, and then spit them out.
Oh.
To collect them. So you can vomit them back up if you're too fat to get fit through a certain area. You can swallow them up, you can hit them with enemies. It's kind of like a... It almost... The first world, it was really heavily puzzled. The second world became more of like a bullet hell. So, like, they're very different. I played it with my brother, and he found the vomiting sounds extremely disgusting.
As one would.
Yes. So he actually played without sound because I didn't want to turn the vomiting sounds off. No, just because we were streaming it and I wanted to give the full experience.
Weird flex, but okay.
It's not a flex, it's a fact.
Sounds flex, but okay.
I'm not flexing. I'm streaming this right now. Everybody knows that I stream.
Alright.
Yeah, calm down. I'll take your star again.
Listen here, lady.
Guys, Shinra's mad at me for taking his star, but he challenged me in Mario Party, and this is what he got.
There's only one star.
Anyways, you can turn the vomiting sounds down. There's a separate volume control for that. So if the vomiting sounds do really bother you, but you're really intrigued by the game, which I am, you can turn them off.
All right, that does. I do like the idea of turning off vomit.
Yes. You can also turn down the amount of which vomit comes out of your mouth, so like the level of vomit. So that was nice of them.
Very.
Again, that was pig eat ball, as in you were pig eating tennis balls.
Pig eat ball.
Yes, pig eat ball. Your turn.
So, one game that I did play a bit of, but not a lot of, that I wish I played more of, was Warhammer Vermintide 2.
Is that really an indie game, though? Isn't that pretty mainstream? Like, it's not AAA, but I don't know if I'd say that's indie.
Well, I guess it depends on if it was independently published, which I... Was it?
I don't know. I just feel like I've always heard that that was a big title. Like, it's been a series for a long time, hasn't it?
Well, it's only the second one.
I'm just asking.
Do you want me to not talk about it? Is that what you're talking
No, you can talk about it. I was just posing a question. I'm being devil's advocate.
That's fair. I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's a really cool game that I played this year.
Do it.
So, Vermintide is a... It's like, how do I describe it? It's like Left 4 Dead in a medieval world where instead of zombies, you're fighting orcs, and instead of guns, you have swords and blunderbusses.
I know why I'm getting it confused now, because there is a Warhammer tabletop game, and that has been out forever. Continue.
Yes. So, it's not like an incredibly deep game. It's mostly like you put into a level and you run through all the areas and you fight the hordes of monsters and the big monsters and the special monsters. But it's a very tough game, even in a single player. But as you get up to a team of 4 stack and you all go through a level and you fight off the hordes of monsters together, you can either be like a crafty dwarf with a blunderbuss, or a big knight with a sword, or a wizard with a flamethrower.
Convenient.
Yep. And the storyline takes place in, if anyone's interested in Warhammer lore, which I'm sure 7 people are. It's right at the beginning of the end of the apocalypse.
Okay.
Takes place in the Warhammer universe. And so basically everything's going to shit. Everything's going to shit. And you're just fighting to survive and getting through the lands. And so it's got this great, like, not quite post-apocalyptic look, but like mid-apocalypse look, as you fight off hordes of orcs and trolls. And it's just one of those games, like, when you get, like, some friends together and you play it, it's just a blast and a half.
Ooh, that's a blast and a half from Shinra. That's a good rating.
Yep. It's my official rating scale. It's like Metacritic, but, you know, good.
Perfect. We should start adding these in more regularly. So would like 2 blasts be like a 5-star?
2 blasts is equivalent to almost a perfect game, yeah.
Okay. I would not give the next game a 2 blast.
You would not.
I would not. The game I am talking about is The Council, which is an episodic story game where you are summoned to a summit, a council, if you will, to decide the fate of the world. And then all of a sudden a lot of paranormal things happen that I'm not going to say because I don't want to ruin the major plot twist of the game.
I mean, I would assume if you're about to decide the fate of the world, something's going to go weird.
Oh, it gets weird. The issue I have with the game, though, is you have a certain level of number of skill points each level that you are able to use your abilities. So to, like, say I want to unlock a lock or lie to someone or use a knowledge skill, like I have to use these points, right?
Right.
So the issue with the game is by the end of it, I had about like 24 slots for points, but there's 5 overall chapters with 20 overall sections in the game-ish, which it really isn't because each chapter takes about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So they're fairly short, but you get like 2 skill points a chapter.
Oh, wow.
So when you get to the end of this really long and arduous game, after you solve all of the puzzles that are very difficult if you do not study Renaissance art or traditional verses out of the Bible.
But don't you? I thought you did.
I do not. I did study Renaissance art. I did, which made that puzzle easier for me, but I'm not assuming everybody has.
Yes.
The puzzles take a while. They're very hard. You have to use a lot of skills, and then I got to the last chapter, and because it refills so little, and there are so little items to kind of let you refill your skills, I couldn't do anything the last chapter. I literally just had to let the dialogue play out and make the choices that had no skill points. So the potentially amazing ending I could have had to this game after all of the plot twists happened were completely unbalanced, and it was completely ruined. A completely horrible playthrough. I got the worst ending.
Wow.
Because the game wouldn't give me an opportunity to refill my skills when I needed them.
Right.
So, needless to say, after 10 hours of that game, a little frustrated.
Yep. Yeah, I can imagine how, like, a kind of a difficult but sort of rewarding game throughout can be very much soured in the end by just, like, a poor executed finale.
That's exactly what it was. Without looking stuff up or really understanding and knowing these puzzles and maxing out the right skills, and there were like 20 different skills. Like, it was so much. The web was so vast for how many various things you use. Like, it's just not a very well balanced game. I think the story could have been awesome, but because of that fact, the end of it was just bad. So I honestly don't recommend playing it without looking up a lot of the answers so you don't use your skill points.
Yeah. Damn.
So that gets, like, not even a half a blast.
Less than half a blast.
Less than half a blast.
Sorry, Mom.
Which coincidentally is the name of my new album.
Oh. Coming 2019.
Less than half a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Another game that I played, which won the Indie Game of the Year 2018, was Dead Cells.
Ooh.
Was a side-scroll roguelike platformer action beat-em-up. And what I think set this game apart from others in its genre and categories
That was lucky. That was a good game.
was just how tight the combat was. You're given like a myriad of different weapons between like short swords and broadswords and axes and ranged weapons and spears, and all play differently enough that if you decide you're going to go a different weapon route, it's basically a whole different kind of playthrough is what you're going to have.
Interesting. So you said it was like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, so like the traditional Capcom games?
Not like Streets of Rage style, but it's a side-scrolling action fighter game. So like you're running around, and you're beating shit up, and you're getting to the bosses. And it's a difficult game too. That definitely demands like you put a good amount of hours into it to memorize all like the twists and turns and find the secrets.
Right.
So you blast in through it because it's a time limit that if you don't hit it at a certain time, like as you play longer, the game just gets harder.
Oh. Yikes.
So you can't like try and clear out a whole level, otherwise, by the time you get to the boss, it's just gonna be balls to the walls hard.
Oh.
DPS.
Well, that's an interesting way to kind of like challenge people to complete the game at the same time as not completing it, if that makes sense.
It keeps a sense of urgency in your play-in. Well, also mean like you know playing through that you can't get all the things in every run, so you gotta kind of pick and choose what you want. Choose a play style, like do you want to go very like armor heavy with big swords, or kind of spells and trap based, like keep things down and sneak around them. It's got just a whole lot of different options to it, and it looks very good. The music is awesome, and it's a very rewarding game too. Like when you beat the boss, you feel great because you spent a lot of time kicking your ass. You're like, I got it now. I figured them out.
Right. So almost like a Cuphead.
Yeah, in like
In
Terms
like
of
that sort of sense of
Yeah,
difficulty.
these guys.
yeah.
I haven't picked that one up yet, but I don't know if it's like that type of game is for me, obviously. I'm not good at games.
Yes, it's a game. Want to be good at it.
Right, and I'm not good at anything. So, how many blasts would you give Dead Cells?
Oh, 2 whole blasts. That's a
Wow. That's a 2-hole blast, guys.
2 whole blast.
That's our first 2-hole blasts of the episode.
It's just quite a fantastic experience.
So that was Dead Cells, yes?
Yes.
For those of us following along.
Yep.
I have one more episodic game that I played this year.
Which was
This was Call of Cthulhu.
yes, I've heard many a good thing about it.
Yes, I actually enjoyed it a lot. Unlike the other episodic game, which was kind of running at the same time, The Council, Call of Cthulhu, obviously a creepy Lovecraft horror episodic adventure game, didn't have arduous skill point issues. So you could actually make correct choices and go through the game. And for those of you wondering, yes, there is a path for you to summon Cthulhu. I did that. It was magnificent.
Did you go insane?
Yes, on purpose. You actually do have an insanity meter.
Good.
So, which I think there are 4 routes in the game total, and I followed the Cthulhu paths, but you can also try to solve the game without going insane, which I think is interesting. So it does have some replayability, and it was really fun. It was also about 10 hours total, with 5 episodes.
That's a good length for that kind of game.
They're all out now. I would give it like a blast and a half.
That's what's all right.
If you like episodic games, if you like Lovecraft, and if you like being a little creeped out by sea animal guts,
Yep.
I think it's a worthwhile play.
I've definitely enjoyed my fair share of episodic games. Like the Telltale series, Life is Strange. Have you ever played the Sherlock Holmes kind of like choose your own adventure games?
No, I do love myself some Sherlock Holmes. I didn't know there was a Sherlock Holmes adventure game.
There's a couple of them, which are, I think they're very good, especially if you like that sort of episodic style of like go around, talk to people, exhaust all the dialogue options to get all the information so you can make the right choices. And it's still a detective game at the end of the day where like you have to figure out the mystery. And what makes it really, really cool is that you can get the answer wrong. Like the game will let you fail at solving the mystery. You have to take all the evidence, all the clues, and make the right decision, which I think is super cool, especially since it's a Sherlock Holmes game. Like it should.
So kind of like an LA Noire.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I like LA Noire. I've found it a little bit too long for my taste. It feels repetitive now. Also, small time mama, hi. We're doing our podcast section. But I will have to check that out. If this gives you any key of what kind of gamer I am, my absolute favorite games are the Ace Attorney games.
Clearly.
So I'm intrigued by that. I will have to look into it.
We're just floating in midair.
And then my stream will be like, ugh, more episodic games. Wings, please.
I think the 2 big ones are Sherlock Holmes, Crime and Punishment, and then the Testament of Sherlock Holmes.
Crime and Punishment is a separate book. Why are they using a separate book, not by the Sherlock Holmes guy, as a title?
I'm not in charge.
Okay. Just curious.
It was not my choice.
Well, fine. How many blasts would you give that?
Why is it so hard?
The Sherlock Holmes games?
Yes. We've already reviewed them, basically. Might as well rate them.
That's 1 whole blast right there.
Aw.
Kids rolled through, he says.
That's a whole blast.
Whole blast. What else? The other mystery game I played and very much enjoyed was Return of the Obra Dinn.
Haven't heard of it.
Careful with that.
Please tell me.
I can't get to you.
Return of the Obra Dinn is by the same man who made Papers, Please.
Oh, I like Papers, Please.
But this time, in this game, instead of doing the boring job of a border clerk where you stamp passports, you do the exciting job of an insurance claims investigator.
Big deep dive.
Wow.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold up. Pump the brakes, Alex. You're going too fast. You're gonna lose me here.
Yeah, you're losing me with all the excitement.
This is just too much. An insurance claims investigator, you say? What the wild world in hell is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
In this game, you are investigating the specific insurance claim that on this boat, all, I think it's 30-something of its passengers and crewmen mysteriously died all at the same time.
Oh!
You have to go on the boat and investigate all the deaths. And here's where it gets interesting. So you get on the boat and say you find the corpse of the captain.
Okay.
And you have this magic pocket watch that lets you go up to the bones and then you can view the last couple seconds of that person's life.
Interesting.
So you can see what they did and what happened to them right before. You can see the person who killed them, but you don't know who they are. You just see their face. You have a list in your notebook of all the people and what their job was, if they were passengers, if they were a shipman, whatever. And so what you have to do is you have to find the bodies, identify through the flashbacks who they are, how they died.
Interesting. I would like to place my bets on sudden alien invasion.
I'm not gonna spoil anything because everyone dies in a different way, and the way it has you figure out, like, is you'll be able to look at the memory of how they died. You'll be able to pause it and just kind of shift around and look at it from different angles.
Ooh.
How they were shot, or where they were when they died. Look at the area, and you can also go around the ship and say, "I know what this is. I've seen," because you see, like, you hear him say, like, "Clarice, your brother killed me," and then you can look in the book and see that there's only one Clarice Hobnobbin.
Okay.
And so you can go through and find the other Hobnobbin, like, oh, that must be her brother, which means Doodle Bob Hobnobbin killed Captain.
What a name.
Yep.
I can see why he was a murderer.
Yep. So there's a lot of deductive reasoning, a lot of investigation. One of my just the best games to be released this year.
Are you gonna give it 2 blasts?
That's 2 whole blasts.
Wow! And what was that again?
Return of the Obra Dinn.
So you heard it here first, folks. 2 blasts. Return of the Obra Dinn. Second game to get 2 blasts.
Impressive, I know.
That's crazy.
You only get the best when you come here.
True, 100%. My next game is also barely a blast. I'll touch on it very quickly and then move on to another one. It's called Grimwood. They come at night. You and your friends decide that you and your friends are in a village, and you can explore the area around you. Kind of similar to a board game, like a Catan or a blah blah blah. Except the cool thing is, hey, look, you have like 20 real-life minutes to prepare for this incoming goblin horde, because then it will be nighttime. The goblins are way OP. Oh, hey, look, your character died. Fun fact. Your character never comes back, so then your friends just sit there awkwardly while you continue the game.
Ooh.
Or, alternatively, you can play the online mode, where you get 1 turn per day. And by day, I mean actual real-life day.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Yes. So, it's not fun to play with friends.
I can see why.
And it's very difficult to play and know what to do. And you're basically going to get overrun by goblins in like 20 minutes.
Those damn goblins.
Our four-person party survived for less than 40 minutes.
That's not very long.
No, it's not. So, I give that less than half a blast.
Wow. Pathetic.
It was not good. But one thing that I did like this year was Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. I haven't heard of that one.
Little Nightmares is a side-scrolling / so it has depth, so it's a side-scroller, but you can go back and frontwards as well. And you're kind of like, you're like this little kid in a raincoat, and you're trying to escape all these terrifying evil adults who want to eat you.
God, I hate it when that happens.
I know! Why do adults always want to eat children?
It's the weirdest thing. They don't even taste that good.
No, not at all. And they're scrawny.
I'm saying.
So you're trying to escape this nightmarish, place. You go through certain levels, and eventually there's kind of like a boss encounter, that you either need to escape or defeat the person, all leading up to a major boss at the end.
Okay.
It's a really good game. If you like side-scroller, puzzle, escape, and stealth games, I highly recommend it. They also released some additional DLC, which I haven't played yet, where you are playing as a different kid in a different area of the ship that you don't get to see in the main game. It's really interesting. It also has a lot of... The art style is beautiful, and it has a lot of... There's no dialogue. There's, like, no dialogue, but at the same time, the game touches on so many different themes that it's really beautiful. I definitely recommend it.
And what was it called again?
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. That sounds quite interesting.
I definitely think it's worth the purchase.
How much was it?
Oh, I want to say it was $20 on Steam, and it took me 6 to 10 hours to beat. And then the DLC is $10.
That's quite reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable, and I think it's fun. And I think you'll end up spending a lot more time in the actual game, kind of just like exploring the area. There are a lot of little, I'm not a completionist, so there are a lot of little things that, like, I don't think I got on my first playthrough. But I would actually almost go back and play it again. Like, it was that fun.
Well then. So, this isn't a game I've played, or even knew existed until super recently. It is called Deep Space Waifu Fantasy.
What?
I was just like, I'm just like looking through Steam real quick, seeing like, is there anything I can think of that I've missed? And this just came up. It is
Deep? Say it
Deep
again?
Space Waifu Fantasy.
Oh my god.
It is what appears to be a shmup, where over it's basically images of, you know, waifus
Right.
in space.
Yeah.
It's $2 on Steam.
Okay.
There are plenty of boobs.
Love it.
Yep. It looks very flashy. You fly around in a spaceship and you shoot things, and there are pictures of waifus.
That's, amazing.
Yeah.
Is this your indie game of the year?
I think, you know, it just ended up might be it.
Okay, well, you play that and report back.
Well,
Because I'm very curious. And you know how much I love my waifu games.
I know, and I think this is right up your alley.
Another waifu game. I'm not sure if Mary Skelter Nightmares counts as... Oh, God, alerts. Oh, they're so loud. 34. The Lee, hello. Thank you for following.
Oh my god, in the pictures you can shoot off parts of the waifu's clothes. That's interesting.
Huh?
And there, over the pictures of the waifus, you can shoot off parts of their clothes.
Oh,
And
hey. In Mary
Look at
Skelter
that.
Nightmares, you can rub off parts of their clothes while you wash them with your own blood.
God, what a time to be alive.
I know. Didn't you have a waifu assigned to you for that game?
I think it was like Tinkerbell or something.
Oh, yeah. She's fantastic. She became my most OP character, so...
That sounds appropriate.
I don't know if it's really considered an indie game or not. It has a very small following here in the States, so it was published third party in England by Ghostlight Games, who's a smaller JRPG developer. But
Right.
the game itself came from Ideal Factory in Japan, so I don't know if it counts as an indie game or not.
And it was called...
Mary Skelter Nightmares, you know that.
I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you transitioned.
No, we gotta get the waifu talk in.
Right, okay.
So I don't know if it counts as an indie game or not, but I liked it a lot, and I'm hoping they'll localize Mary Skelter 2 next year, so we can have more waifus.
More waifus.
Another thing that is an indie game that didn't come out this year that I was really surprised to see got updates was Game Developer Tycoon.
I know, yeah, you're right.
It got updates this year. They did a giant surprise revamp, added a bunch of new categories, features, consoles, developers.
Because
and
that game
just
initially came out, like, what, 2015, something like that?
I think even older than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that game has been out for a long time, and they just threw out an update this year that no one asked for, but everyone wanted, because I love Game Developer Tycoon.
I remember getting very upset with that game.
Yes, me too.
And just, like, playing it, and, like, I got a 1-star review. Like, what do you want? I don't know how else that I could have made this game great for you, but what the fuck ever, I guess. Alright.
Oh my gosh, I know. Samesies. It was...
Like, I did things.
They also did a graphic update too.
Really
So
good.
like the UI in the actual game, they updated, and it looks so much better. It's like a brand new game almost.
This is good because
Well, you had my interest, now you have my attention.
If you love Game Developer Tycoon and you've played it before, I highly recommend picking it up, or if you have it, updating it and giving it another whirl, because they just made it better. Like, it was already good. They just made it better.
That's quite interesting.
I know. I would give that update 1.5 blasts. It's everything I ever wanted.
And it's just a free update. They just like threw it in out of nowhere.
Yep, it's just a free update. They just threw it in out of nowhere.
Damn.
Now you have me curious though when it was released, and I'm going to casually look that up as you move on to the next game.
I mean, I'm out of I think notable indie games.
Oh, you are?
I had a very first half of the year, so I didn't get to play that many. I've been catching up in the second half, but I missed out on a bunch. So.
Okay, well then I have more.
Okay.
There was a free game on Steam. Okay, so its original release date for Game Developer Tycoon was 2013. So they
Wow.
updated it for its 5-year anniversary.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah, the update that no one asked for, but everybody could enjoy.
Yep.
There was a free game on Steam for a little while this year that was kind of popular called Deceit. It was kind of similar to a Dead by Daylight, where there would be one killer in the area and everyone else was trying to escape. The fun thing that made it different is one of your party members was actually the monster and actually the killer. So, your party member would try to be, like, sneaky and, like, pick people off one by one.
Mm-hmm.
So that game was fun for a while, but eventually was overshadowed by the release of Dead by Daylight, I feel like.
Right.
So it's kind of died off, but it was fun to play while it was popular. Let's see here. I also played Monster Prom. That was a game that came out this year.
That came out this year, really?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, we're getting a raid. Say hi, raiders.
Oh, madame.
Trig, hi. Welcome to our podcast portion of my stream. Hi. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? A shiny Rattata just popped up.
Yo, you gonna catch that shit?
No, I am not. I'm just tilted at the fact that it did. I have been looking for this Ponyta for 3 hours. Yami, hey, how are you?
Oh, look at that Rapidash.
Ashes up top.
Yes. Rapidash is adorable. Ponyta is adorable. No, here. Look at this fucking shiny Rattata. Thanks, game. That's what I've been waiting for all this time.
Crash again.
So that's shitty. Monster Prom, though. That came out this year, which I believe you played a few sessions with us, correct?
What are you downloading?
Huh?
What are you
I
downloading?
didn't eat it.
I'm not downloading
Are
anything.
you dropping frames?
Not really.
How many frames do you have drop?
16%, but that's from earlier today.
How many?
Percent. I don't know. 51,000.
Okay.
Anyways. Trig, Yami, how you doing? Thanks for rating. We're talking indie games, so if you have any you like, you should say that in the comments. Yeah, but you did some sessions of Monster Prom with us. That came out this year.
I thought it was like late last year when it came out.
Came out this year.
Interesting. Cool. That's a great game.
It is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
My only interest in it, my only disinterest in it right now is playing it with a bunch of new people, like how we used to do like this big production on stream. Like the story, unless you have people really trying to go for certain routes, we generally always get like the same dialogue.
Right.
I need water.
Recently, I think a big, like, it was either like during Halloween or Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been seeing them. I think they're doing both. I have my chain of 31 Ponytas already, Trig. I'm just waiting for the shiny to come up now. And a Rattata showed up. Yikes. Yeah, so they're doing updates in DLC, and I've kind of been wanting to get back into it to play it just like solo and unlock some more of like the secret endings.
Yeah.
Which I think is what the player base is more skewed towards for this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it was really fun. I think it still is really fun.
I only initially heard about that game because one of the producers on it, his name's Jesse Cox, is a longtime YouTuber who saw the game kind of like struggling after it got out of, I think, Kickstarter or something like that. And this game sounds stupid, weird, and I love it. So he just threw a bunch of money at it and started promoting it on his Twitter. I'm like, oh, this game sounds interesting.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. We had we did an interview with the main project leader, Julian, and right after its launch, and more recent launch, that is.
Yes.
And it is a weird game. It's a great game, though.
Yeah.
It's where I got the phrase open mouth, unhinged jaw, bees pour out, like, what the fuck? But it's a perfect mood. It's a mood.
We're gonna have shatter.
Sometimes you're just like, bees.
Yeah, exactly. And the writing is so clever. I think it's an excellent game. It would almost have 2 bangs.
2 what? I'm sorry?
Fuck.
Bangs?
Nobody else
Wait, what were we calling them? I've forgotten already.
Blasts.
Blasts. Yes, 2 blasts!
Bangs are different than blasts.
Yes, they are.
Bangs are what your 12-year-old self had when you tried to tell yourself you look cute.
That's probably fairly accurate, but add on a couple extra ages to that, too, because it's happened more than once.
Aww.
I always want bangs, okay? I feel like I'd be cute, and I think I look pretty cute with them, but then I have curly hair, and then I never take care of them.
You're not Zoe Deschanel.
No, I'm not. I don't have a team of stylists doing my hair every day.
Nope.
No.
I mean, you could, but you don't.
I don't think I could. I think that costs money.
Money.
Money, smoney. Oh, okay. I have 2 more that I want to talk about tonight. One is Raft.
I've seen a lot of rafts on this channel.
Yes, I love Raft. Raft is fantastic. I love the mode where you can just go in and build your little raft and make it big and impressive, like my town that I'm making on...
A whole town.
Yes, a whole castle town. It has a wall.
It seems a little impractical, but
And towers. And then it has a walkway that leads to the village and the town square and the slums.
And the slums, it has its own slums.
It has its slums. The slums are eventually turned into a coffee shop, but I'm sure another slums will pop itself up.
Because Lord knows there is no complete city without classism.
Exactly, especially in a castle town.
Especially in a castle town.
Mm-hmm. They've been adding updates to the game over time, adding new enemies, adding different building and raft parts. There is a story that you're supposed to follow, like you follow the stream of trash and supplies to eventually find a radio tower, but then the story just kind of ends there. And I'm not sure how far they've progressed in the story mode, but the actual just creative build mode is super fun.
Is it still in early development?
It's still in beta, I believe.
Okay.
So I don't think there's a rush on anything. Like, they recently added larger islands, and then 2 new enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still working on it. I wouldn't say it's a finished game. And then the last game, I don't know if it's an indie game or not. Is Overcooked 2 an indie game?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Overcooked 2 is fantastic, and it drives me insane, but it's also really fun.
I have a fun story about Overcooked 2.
Tell me more.
I went over to a friend's house where he has that on his Xbox. He has 2 on his Xbox One, and he plays it with his wife sometimes.
Okay.
And his wife's not a big gamer, but they like to play that game together. It's a great game for people who don't play games.
Right.
And they're like going through, they're beating the levels. They're not getting all the 3 stars, but they're trying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I like that game. And so I sit down, and I play it with the wife while he's in the kitchen doing something. And in the middle of it, I hit the button that makes you dash. I hit the dash button.
Right.
You know, gives you a little boost.
Yep.
She pauses the game and goes, how the fuck did you just do that?
Oh, no.
Played through almost the entire game without knowing you had a dash button.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh, I'm like, it's just the button. And they're like, what the fuck?
My God,
Just imagine how many more stars they could have gotten.
I know.
like,
Was that a game changer for them? Did they just
They're like, this is so much easier.
Wow, really?
Been struggling so much.
Well, the whole point of the game is to struggle, so I can only imagine how not dashing makes it. Did they know that they could toss each other items, too?
I think, no, they did know that one. They did know that one.
Okay, just making sure. Because at this point, I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
I would give Overcooked 2 2 blasts.
Yeah, that's, they took everything great about the first one, expanded it, and they just built upon all, like, the good mechanics there. All these new interesting maps. Super cool, great music, so much fun, like, just the perfect amount of hectic. The levels aren't too long that you just feel like you're getting slogged.
I don't know. The one where you're on a raft, like, you have to control a raft around a cavern and make burritos. That one tilts me to no end.
I don't think I've played that level. I haven't beaten the game.
Oh, well, it's...
I've played my fair share.
It's what I imagine hell to be like.
See, I'm willing to bet when you get down to hell, the devil's just gonna be like this really lazy dude who doesn't bother torturing people, and it's just like one big waiting room.
That's highly possible.
It's just a bunch of dudes waiting for a turn. Like, when are we gonna get put somewhere? I don't fucking know, bro. It's been a couple 100 years. All right.
I could see hell being a waiting room. Waiting rooms are torture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was indie games. I think we did good. We covered a lot of them.
Good indie games we're talking about.
And a few bad ones.
A few bad ones, but mostly good ones.
Yeah.
Fun ones. And or Pokemon to look at.
Yes, Pokemon to look at. Only one of them shiny, being a Rattata. I hate everything. I'm going to turn off this game now and cry.
Indignant rage.
Yeah, kinda. I'm raging on the inside. Nobody can see it, but it's my rage is bigger than Rapidash's fire for.
Rage on the outside. Don't let the man keep you down.
Thanks, dude.
I got you, man.
Yeah. So stream, this was me, and I guess eventually YouTube. This was me on Wings of Wind, and we were talking indie games. The ones that I got are two blasts.
Two blasts.
Were Overcooked 2, and then Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight was great. Hollow Knight is great. Dead Cells. Return of the Obra Dinn.
Did we give all of those 2 blasts?
I think so. I think we did.
Oh, okay. 2 blasts is a 5-star rating or a 10 out of 10 from us here at Podmas.
Yep. We needed our own arbitrary rating scale.
Yes, just like everyone else, but we don't sell out.
Oh no, I sell it hardcore. If you want to give me money to do something, I'm on board.
Okay, Shinra sells out. I sell out slightly less.
No shame. I advertise like a shameless whore. That's what I always say.
So any companies looking for a shameless whore to buy, Shinra is available. YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more Podmas as well as other videos that you're watching on it right now. Also, all of my socials will be below. None of Shinra's socials will be below because he doesn't want you to follow him, so don't try to find him.
Don't do it. You'll fail.
And we will catch you next time.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
Woo!